So it's just been a long week. There was a bat, it's a whole thing. Hey Hodies, welcome back to my channel. My name is hautemesstom. And today we're going to be going through my testing drawer and talk about some of the stuff. I can't talk about everything that's in my drawers. I will touch on them a little bit, but for the most part, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get rid of some of the things in my testing drawer because some of them I know how I feel about them and I can move them into my standard drawers. We'll get into more details in just a second, but if you happen to be new to my channel, hi, welcome. My channel is mostly about loving my makeup collection first and foremost, but because this is something that I do as a little bit of a side hustle job, I do sometimes buy product to review and I sometimes receive PR, but I try to be very discerning about what I actually invite into my makeup collection after I'm done reviewing it or before I even buy it. So if that kind of content sounds good to you, I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure to like this video, and I'm on patreon.com if you'd like to support me there. There's no pressure to. I do additional content there, and my podcast with my friend Kackie is also on Patreon. But I do thank all of my current patrons. Patrons really do help making review content something that I can do because I wouldn't be able to afford to do reviews otherwise. Thank you to those patrons. I also have another podcast. It's completely free. It's on Spotify. It's called Recollect. I do that with my best friend Tiffany, and we talk about music on that, and it's very fun, very light, a little bit of a music history. It's not too serious, but it's very fun, and I think you should check it out. So I have an IKEA Alex 5 drawer. In the top drawer, the top thin drawer, is where I keep everything that I haven't made decisions on or I haven't made my videos on yet. So if you watch Hannah Louise Poston, it's much like her testing boxes that she moves around. So this is also sort of like a reckoning a la Hannah Louise Poston. I don't know if I'm going to call it a reckoning, but it's like the same idea. Just my testing drawer is pretty full. I finally just finished that surratt video, so I got to move that all out of there. But there's still quite a bit that I'm undecided on. There's still quite a bit that is in that drawer. Some things I know that I want to either keep or pass on, and other things are going to remain in the testing drawer because I just haven't figured everything out. And also there's potential to do a more in-depth review on some things. Anyway, let's start with something easy. I have 2 of the Phytosurgeon's Spectral Sunlight Cream Bronzer. My brain is kaput today. 2 of the Spectral Sunlight Cream bronzers from Phytosurgeon's. I have shade 2. This is Rosy Daybreak. It is the lightest rosy shade, and then I have Golden Warmth, which is the second lightest golden shade. I have a whole video on these, which I can link either up here or down below, and I swatch comparison with all the bronzers I have and all of the contours I have, and then I show application footage of all 4 of the shades that I initially bought. I kept these in my testing drawer because I wasn't sure what I was going to keep bronzer wise. What's kind of happening is I've been enjoying a lot of bronzers that I've tested recently, and bronzers feels like something that for me personally doesn't need to be like a really huge thing. As I always say, you're welcome to navigate the beauty space however you want. I like to try to keep my collection as semi-reasonable as I can. When I have too much makeup, I tend to get overwhelmed. But I am going to keep both of these because I have nothing like Rosy Daybreak. I've already switched hands, so now I'm looking at the back. Which one's Rosy Warmth? That's a trick question. I already passed that one along. I'm paying attention. I am tired, but I'm paying attention. Anyway, Rosy Warmth, Golden Daybreak. No, Rosy Daybreak. Oh my god. I confused myself. I thought I was doing so good. There's just not a bronzer in my collection like Rosy Daybreak. I do have a bronzer like Golden Warmth from Surratt that I have decided to keep, but I'm going to keep both of these too because I really like this formula. It's interesting. There might come a day where I only keep one, and the likelihood of that would be keeping Rosy Daybreak, or the likelihood that maybe I will eventually declutter the Surratt bronzer that reminds me of Golden Warmth. But I don't know. I'm gonna hold on to them. There's some makeup that I know I'm ready to move on that's in my permanent collection. I'm gonna wait until the end of the year to do a declutter because I do want to see it if as we head into the fall I start coming back to anything that I'm feeling like I'm not wanting to keep in this moment. The next, it's like a group of products, is some stuff from About Face that my friend Andromeda sent me. So they might have received these in PR. I'm not 100% sure. Many people have been curious about what I think About Face. They were offered to me by Andromeda, and then I was like, I will snag them to save me a little bit of money if I ever decide to do an About Face review. Now, the lip butters have been featured on my channel quite a bit, and I really know how I feel about them. In fact, the shade Nashi Pear would definitely be invited to my collection already if I wasn't holding out to do an About Face review. But I ask you, and I genuinely ask you, is About Face a brand that you would like to hear a detailed review from me about? And it's okay if the answer is no, you don't have to. And it's also okay if you don't even answer me. It's something that I'm thinking about. It's Labor Day weekend, and About Face is 25% off. But the one thing I noticed about Face, because I've gone to buy more from them a handful of times, and every time I go to buy something, the stock is, I don't get to choose a lot. And so, as you can see, what I already have is pretty warm leaning. So I have 2 of the blushes and I have like 2 of the lip colors. I can't really get a good idea from their website what the colors actually look like. And the other problem is right now I've been like leaning more into cool toned looks, and my heart when I'm shopping on there recently has been to like, I've been gravitating towards the cool tone shades. If I bought cool tone shades, then I have these warm tone shades. And listen, you can do whatever you want. You can mix warm and cool. I'm not here to tell you that there are any rules to makeup. If I do end up liking color, normally it's out of stock. I'm kind of holding on to these because like I might, like that might be the next brand I do like a deep dive on. I will tell you that I've only used these once. So I'm thinking that maybe like this week I'll do a video where I'm like using some things that I don't know how I feel about in here, but like let me know how you feel about Face if you want to know more about Face from me. I feel like everyone who's asked me are people who already use products from About Face, who like wanted to hear what I have to say about it. Can we have a quick aside about that? And this is not like about me as a content creator directly. It's just something that I've also noticed in the beauty space. People really want content creators to review things that they already have and know they like. There's a little bit of a pitfall for there as a creator where it's like, you want me to review it so that to see if I agree with you. But the thing is, it doesn't matter what I think. If you already own and love a product from any brand, you can continue to love it. And you might be recommending it to me and wanting me to try it to review because you'll think that I will absolutely love it. And that's like a little bit different. But I've also seen, you know, just in my corner of Instagram, when a content creator reviews something poorly and they don't like it and it's something that that person loves, they get a little upset and they feel like a little bit of like a betrayal. And it's like, just, I think everyone needs to remember that like this is all subjective. Like how we navigate makeup is like pretty subjective, and what you like and what I like are going to be subjective, and we all have different skin, we all are different ages, so like all of those things come into play. So like it's never an attack on your personal taste and whenever a content creator doesn't like love something that you love. Anyway, let me know about Face. I'll come back to it. Was really impressed by these. The blush shades, I feel some kind of way about them. Let's move along to something I'm pretty sure I'm going to declutter. This is Magic Brownie from Half Magic Beauty. I've tried this a handful of times. I don't really quite like the shade. This is a warmer terracotta brown. And honestly, to me, it reads more orange than it reads like brown. And I think I've just been into like actual straight down the line neutrals recently, or like leaning cool. Like I have terracotta blushes, a shade, and I like terracotta as a shade in makeup. I'll wear it on my eyes. But there's something about this that I just think leans a little bit too orange for my liking, but the formula is nice. It reminds me a lot of the Kaleidos Lip Lip Lab Cloud Clays. Cloud Lab. Anyway, it reminds me of the Kaleidos liquid lipsticks. So really silicone-y, but also really comfortable. Has good longevity, but surprisingly, you know, like not something that really excites me. And it's also like not really far from what I have on my lips today. Today I have MAC's Whirl with this lip liner. Just be looking at things I'm like, Endless Cacao from Makeup Forever. I don't really like this packaging. I don't like interacting with it. Every time I open my drawer when I'm doing my makeup, when I open my testing drawer and I see it, I go, I don't know that I want to use that. So I think that maybe this is going to be, I'm going to maybe see if Tiffany will like it and enjoy it. They don't do their makeup all the time, but I think that they'll like that more. I think they just will like it more than me. I feel sad every time I see it when I open the drawer and it's like there and I'm like, wow, I haven't used you in a while. Something that I'm fairly certain I'm going to declutter at some point, but I haven't given it a fair shot yet, so I think it's unfair for me to declutter, is this from Kaja. This is the Hella Azalea Bento. So it has 3 like magenta fuchsia shades. I wouldn't have bought this. This was sent to me by my friend Danny, also known as Hello Nurse on Instagram. I've tried the rose water one and it had no mattes, so I just want to try the mattes to see how I feel about them. That's more of like a formula testing perspective that I would be coming at this from, as opposed to a desire for this color story. I think I will like the look ultimately, no matter. There's a little fucking bug. The amount of bugs that I have killed while filming for this channel is alarming. Ultimately, this is like not long for my collection. I just like haven't tested it yet because I've had so many other things to test. Next up is the Solo Shadow from Merit, and I did a video where I put this on and I talked about my feelings about it. This was sent to me in PR. I am not like a cream shadow person. I am wearing like a single shadow from Victoria Beckham. It's one of the lid lusters, but I don't consider them to be like a cream. And also there's sparkle in it. I love a matte shadow. I love it. And I think matte looks look really elegant, but like it's just like not where I live, and it's like not the makeup looks that I want to be doing. I talked about a lot of the pitfalls about this last time. I'm never looking for like crease proof eyeshadow. I wore this last night and it was the first time I wore it for like out. I like left the house in it because I really liked the look that I did in the video where I initially talked about this. Really loved, like, really loved that look. And I thought, well, maybe this is something worth keeping around because, like, I really love that, like, smudgy look. Well, it disappeared. It's not that it just creased. It was no longer on my eyes, and I wore it for, like, 7 hours, but, like, I'm pretty sure it was gone, like, before that, too. It's just not thing that works out for me. I know that some other people have been really loving these. I hope that I can rehome this to someone who will really, really love it, because it's not it for me. I think it's a really pretty color. It's the shade Nelson, in case you didn't see it. I will link the other video in the cards or down below. So it's like a really beautiful gray, and I really like that color, and I think that they did a really great job with the shades of the Solo shadows, but they're not for me. They crease. And again, that's like not a super big problem for me, but I think that's going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. If you are looking for a dupe of this, there are 2 things that people have recommended in my comment section to me. But like, this is not something that I would, like, I wouldn't have bought this. It was just sent to me. Sometimes you get something that comes your way and you're just like, okay, I'm going to try that to let people know how I feel about it. But it's like, it's truly not something that I know it's for me. So that's kind of like what happened here. But the Maybelline Tattoo something, there's like tattoo cream shadows. Those exist. Those have existed for a long time. e.l.f. makes a putty eyeshadow that comes in a few shades. I'm not going to buy either of the dupes to try either because this is just like not a product that I think I would use very much, even in a formula that's like perfect for what I need it for. These are a couple samples that I have from Rituel de Fille. I reached out to the person who sent me the who talked to sending me about the foundation. I did a review of the 3-drop foundation and that was sent to me in PR. You know, sometimes if you reach out, if you're like working on something and you like reach out to a brand, they might send you whatever you're asking for. It never hurts to ask. So I asked them to send me Intuition for my contour video, which we'll talk about those in a second. They didn't get back to me, but when I placed an order for Intuition, they must have like put together the name and the email and they sent me these. I didn't buy them. You can buy samples from Rituel de Fille so you can try before you buy. And I think whenever you buy the samples, whatever the cost of the samples was goes towards whatever you decide to purchase afterward on their website. I don't know, but they sent me these for free. Anyway, I just want to be honest about like how I ended up getting them. So I have a couple of samples of the 3-drop foundation. I might try it because neither one of these shades are the one that I bought, so maybe I might like it more in a different shade. It wasn't a foundation for me. Other people seem to really be getting along with it, but it's not the standout foundation for me that I tried this year. Like, I already decluttered it. They also sent me 2 of their, what are these called? These are like their original concealers, these original complexion products. So they sent me 2 of those. I haven't tried them yet because I'm unsure about either one of these shades. Like this looks like it might be closer. This is the shade Galatea, and it says light and yellow undertones, and this says neutral undertones. So in theory, that should be the closer one. But this, anyway, I want to try those out. So that's why I'm thinking that it might be worth my while to do like just my testing drawer video where like the makeup look might not all go together. It's just the whole purpose of it is like to get some things on my face. So I would like to try that. But I have tried Eros and they are doing a Labor Day sale. I'm thinking about it because I like this as a bronzer, but I also don't need another bronzer. But I really like the Inner Glow pigment formula, and then I also have 2 more of those. I have Blood Flower and I also have Eclipse. So again, I would like to play with those because I really like Rituel de Fille. The last couple of releases that I've tried from them haven't like worked out for me, but like it's still the brand I hold in really high regard. I'm always like watching for what they do. Maybe somewhere down the line we will do a Rituel de Fille brand review. I tried a lot of the line. Oh, maybe that's not true. I have tried things from them before. Probably gonna at some point use up Arrows, and I probably could use up a lot of those things, so it's just a matter of like testing them out. But I think that's what they really are, you know. Well, they're samples, so they are for testing, but I think they would work the best in like a video where it's not really so focused about creating a look or something like that. Next up is the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I mean, this was love at first sight. The first time I put it on my eyes, I was like, It's a beautiful texture. It is white. It shears out on my eyelids. It doesn't like look white, but it is my favorite eyeshadow primer I've like ever used. I've mentioned this before when I mentioned this in another video. I normally get on pretty well with eyeshadow primers for mattes and satins, and this is no exception to it. But I like the texture of this one a lot better than I like the textures of others. It's not so much because it's like doing better. I blend it out on my lids with my fingers. Like I will rub it out with my fingers to blend it. And it just has like a really nice texture. It's like, I understand why this is like a cult classic for a reason. So I'm just gonna put this with my other eyeshadow base, but I am working on using this one up. I think it's almost done, if I'm being honest. Like, it's still a lot of product you can like see in there, but earlier today I used this one today. Whenever I pulled out the brush, there like wasn't much on it, and I don't know if I care enough to pull out the stopper on this to like, I don't know, as soon as I have to put like a spatula in there, when it comes to something like this, I'm not into it. I would do that with a concealer, but like, I don't know, I'm feeling lazy about the eyeshadow primer. And I have something exciting to move on to, so if that one's done, this is already here, why would I, you know, pan that all the way? That's my thought. You may disagree with me, but that's how I'm feeling. Okay, this is brand new. This is like, I just got this. I just got this. It's like new to the drawer. I talked about this in my Critical Sass, but Kackie recently did a video on Chanel where she tried some products from the Equinox to Chanel fall release. And she tried on this blush, and it was a whole hullabaloo for me to get my hands on, but I have it. It's here. It is what I have on my cheek today. I do have the Fenty Diamond Bomb and How Many Carats on top of it, but you can see the finish of it here. It's the shade Rosé et Mauve, and this is what it looks like in the pan. So when I talked about these in Critical Sass a couple months ago, I said that release looks really cool in the marketing. And then when I saw it with the white background, I was like, okay, it's like not as cool as I thought it was going to be. And I'm like not someone who's like into mauve. Like that's like, when you say mauve, my brain, I go, ooh, pass. So whenever I heard that, and like when I saw this, I was like, that doesn't feel like anything that I would be interested in. And then I saw Kackie put it on, and she kept mentioning how cool toned it was. I just mentioned earlier how much like I have been enjoying wearing cool tones recently. And so with that information, I was like, now I'm much more interested in it. And then I saw her swipe it on her face, and it was like beautiful. Like you can see the finish. It has like a soft glow, but I don't even know that it has like shimmer particle, like mica or anything in it. It just makes your skin look, there's like a good amount of blur to it. It makes your skin look really, really nice. I do think that you might have to be careful picking this up because it kind of looks like the color of a bruise, and I think it's really pretty. If you recall me looking for like a dead pink blush that had like a lot of gray in it last year, and like I ended up finding other things that I really enjoyed but I don't quite it's giving me like almost like the purple version of that. I don't know, it's really bizarre because I don't think that this gives off cool tones. Like I don't look at what this in this pan and think that's gonna read cool tone, and I wouldn't have been able to expect that this is what it looks like. Now I did try the brush that it comes with. It comes with this, and Kackie said that it looked different, and that she didn't mind this brush. I don't care for this. I did try it though, because I was like, I'm not just gonna completely disregard it. I still have it all together. There's probably gonna come a day where I just get rid of that brush. I'm not precious about my makeup, really. If I ever get an eyeshadow palette that has a brush or those applicators in it, I immediately dispose of them because that's not a tool that I utilize. I understand why they're there, and I know that we as a beauty community online complain about them. That's for like the people who are on the go packing their makeup, and they are the people who are not into beauty YouTube. They are like, the people who use that are probably the people who like shop for that luxury makeup at the counter. It's for people who do their makeup in the taxi, on the train, or like when they travel a lot, so they don't have a slew of brushes. This is something that, you know, I've been thinking a lot, and it's early and I can't keep my brain straight and to keep a coherent thought. But in my videos, I talk a lot about how I like my makeup to feel weighty. This feels nice, by the way. I mean, it's plastic. It's not like very weighted, but a lot of people talk about how they prefer their makeup to be lighter because they travel a lot, and that makes a lot of sense. I like my makeup to be weighty because I mostly do my makeup at this vanity that I'm currently sitting at. I don't travel very much, and I don't touch up, like, and I don't leave the house very much. So like, I really like my makeup to be like a piece. I like that weight. You can make that decision whether or not a pro or con, weight is a pro or con too, but weighted makeup weighted packaging is always going to be a pro for me. But if I ever talk about it and I mention it, that might be a con for you. Anyway, I was just saying that because I do like my luxury makeup to feel weighty. Also, I mean, like if there was something that was at the drugstore that felt really weighty and the packaging was beautiful, I'd be attracted to it. It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't have to cost $65 for me to be into it. It's just like very rarely are you getting that at a drugstore price. Anyway, I like this so far. Today's the second time I'm wearing it. I've been really enjoying it. There's like almost no way that I'm not gonna want to keep this. It did last all day yesterday because I also wore this when I was testing out the Merit out and about, and it was like really humid out, and like everywhere we went the windows were open, so I was like getting that humidity. It stayed on. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. Next up is the Finding Ferdinand collection with Kackie. It's already gone. You already can't buy it. So I apologize for like talking about it after the fact where you can't get it. I really like these blushes a lot. I really like the beiges. That's really what I'm into. I know for sure most of this is still going to end up in the testing drawer, but I'm going to absolutely keep Olay. It's the medium beige, and I'm going to keep the lightest beige, which is latte. So here's beige. And I did a whole video on these. I will try to remember to link it up above if you have somehow found this video but you didn't see that video, and I compare them to the blushes that I think are going to be the most similar, and I do compare them also to my bronzers. And I also do that with the corals. I just have much less coral to compare, but these are the shades. This is Latte and Olay. If you want to see swatches of them, I just recommend going to that video. That's like not what this video is about. It's more me like talking about my feelings about them. Monica Bell, who is a creator on Instagram and TikTok, she described these as a dry oil, and that's how they like kind of go on, and they do. They're like a cream, but they're really melty and liquidy, and then they go on the skin, and they leave you like a very dewy, like a very glossy finish, and they're really, really beautiful. So I'm gonna keep Cafe and Olay, and then I'm gonna definitely be keeping Paloma, which is the latest of the corals. It's really, really beautiful. I haven't decided on the other shades. So this is the deepest coral. It's Aperitif. It's really pretty. I just wonder about my future usage of it. And then also the middle coral, which is Spritz. This one has a high likelihood of staying. It's just, I don't know. I guess I don't have like a lot of coral in my life. I did a coral look after it because everyone said I looked really good in it. But it's just like something I don't think about. And then I also have the deepest beige, which I'm a little bit undecided on. It's the shade Macchiato. And because this is meant for a deeper skin tone, it doesn't read as like a deep beige on my skin, which is totally fine. I just have to decide if that's like something I want to keep around too. So these three shades I'm still testing, and then the lip gloss I'm absolutely keeping. And then my stupid ass, look how much I've used of this already. I should have bought another one. I'm a dum-dum because I really like this gloss. Oh, I just love smelling it. I've seen what Kakkie's started working on because she's already mentioned it. There's going to be like another collection with Finding Ferdinand, and I, as her friend, I have a little bit of knowledge about what's coming. I'm not going to tell you anything more than that, but I'm very excited to see what they do. But obviously there's not going to be another Limoncello lip gloss. Love everything from that. I just need to make a decision about like what makes the most sense for me to keep around. So there's just those three shades that are still up in the air. Wow, I have so much stuff. Next up is all of my contours. I'm not going to really talk about these, but I have, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 10 contours for the cream contour video. That should be soon. That should be coming soon. There's just a couple of them where I haven't like 100% decided how I feel about them, or like how I want to communicate how I feel about them to you. Those are still in there. Just, you know, that's still coming. Another review that's still coming is the Chanel Sublimage Le Temps, which I just can't get myself to do this video. I have all of the additional footage ready to go. I just need to do the researching bit where I like talk about ingredients and stuff. That's all I have left to do, and I have to record a wear test. I have worn it for long periods of time, but I still have to like record a wear test. It's one of those things where I just am like so hesitant to talk about it, but if you can tell that I've been testing it because I'm about halfway through it. I've mentioned it in passing before. You can kind of hear my thoughts throughout, but I do want to do like a finalized video. Then also from Danny sent me three pigments. 2 of them are from Inspired Sigil Tammy Tanuka, the Russian brand. I'm gonna move these into my drawer, although, well, I'm gonna move the gold one into my drawer because I have it and I really like it. I did use it in a video, but there's like not, I think these are samples. There's not a ton of pigment in there, but they're really beautiful. I'd be really interested in trying their pressed formula. It's just, I can't do that because we can't buy from Russia right now in America. That's one of those shades where I see that and I'm like, I don't think I'd like that, and I'm 100% sure I will put it on my eye and immediately love it. I haven't tested that one yet. I could do that in like like everything in my testing drawer on my face. And then this one's from a different brand. I haven't even unsealed this one yet, but that's also there. Those all just need testing. Well, not the gold one. The gold one I'm going to move into my like single pigment drawer, my glitter drawer. The other two will still remain. Here's a big thing that I'm getting rid of, and it's the Narimi palette. Again, Danny, very kind in sending it to me. This is a Chinese brand, and I'm not really sure if this is their last release or not, but here's the color story. To get your hands on stuff from this brand requires like mail forwarding, and I don't know how to do that. And I feel very lucky to try it. Formulas are really nice. I found the mattes really easy to work with, even though that they are much brighter than what I normally do. Again, like I'm just not wearing color in this fashion much anymore. The shimmers were really nice, but they're like a little bit of a thicker texture, and it's not like what I'm super into texture-wise when it comes to shimmers that I enjoy using. There's also this multi-chrome on the end, which is also really beautiful. I have like no complaints about how this has performed, but with just like my way I'm feeling about eyeshadow palettes right now and the way that I'm using makeup, it doesn't make sense for me to bring this in because it will get ignored. I've used it 2 or 3 times. It has stained my eyelid. The purples have stained my eyelids, which is like fine, but it's like, you know, if I'm not wearing color, it doesn't make sense for me to keep this just because it's really beautiful to look at, and it's also a beautiful color story. But I don't collect makeup anymore. Like, I'm not trying to be someone who's like trying to collect makeup. If I was still a makeup collector, I would probably hold on to this because it's like really cool that it's like from this brand that's from China. I already know who I'm sending this to. I know who I'm giving this to, so they're gonna love it a lot more than I am. So I'm excited to see what they do with it as opposed to it's just languishing in my drawer. Finally is the Azalea palette, and so this is something that I'm working diligently on. It's the Industrial 2.0, and I am struggling with this particular review and how I'm gonna approach it. I know how I feel about it. I think that people have the wrong idea about what I'm criticizing about this brand because you'll see, but like I have the industrial, and I also have the lip black. I think I could say this about this because, you know, I'll talk about it also in the review when I review this, but like I really like these lip blacks. This is the shade Metal. It's one of the 2 newer shades. It's not perfect though. It gives me the white ring and fairly quickly. And I do believe that they refer to this as a serum. It doesn't feel like a serum. It feels like a lip gloss. And it also has a plumping agent in it. And I love plumping agents in my lip glosses, by the way. That's not a con to me, but it's just something that you should know. I don't think that I was fully aware that these were like plumping lip glosses or lip serum. It doesn't matter what condition my lips are in. Every time I put this on, like I get the white ring. It's beautiful though. So I'm going to keep it because I just like don't have anything like it. And it is really pretty. And I love sparkly lip gloss. Like, and it is it's like very sparkly. I get compliments on it every time I wear it in a video, and people ask about it every time I wear it on Instagram or like in my stories. Like, it gets talked about a lot. So I really like it, but I wouldn't pay $40 for it. This is one of those moments where it's like, it was a real privilege to receive this in PR. And I do really want the black one, but it's just like not a good enough formula in my opinion. Pay this much money for it. And I know that Kaleidos recently released a black shade that looked kind of similar to the Azalea one in their new collection. I don't know if anyone has compared those two yet, but that's something that I would seek out in order to like experience something like this. I mean, if you have the $40 on it, if you have $40 to throw to this and if everything I said about it that's positive resonates with you, I don't think you wouldn't enjoy it, but it just doesn't feel like something I would spend $40 on. Especially just based on the formula. Like, I would much rather wear the Victoria Beckham lip glosses. And Victoria Beckham, when are you gonna fucking release some lip glosses that have shimmer in them? I know you're not gonna do this, but like, Victoria. I'm gonna move it into my lip drawer, but whenever I do review this palette, it'll come back out. We'll talk about it again then. But I really love that. And I also have, since my eyeshadow palettes are kind of in purgatory right now, I also pulled this one out so that I can make some comparisons and like, you know, use them both kind of in tandem so I can really get the feeling for them. So that's also been living in my drawer, but that's not going anywhere. That's like part of my collection. It's just, I'm not keeping it in my eyeshadow drawer because I just want to remember that those two things go together. That was a long video for something that I didn't think was going to take that long, and I thought was going to be low effort, but here, that's what I'm keeping, what I'm getting rid of, what's staying in the testing drawer. I feel better now having talked about it. I'm going to feel better whenever I put what I'm keeping back in the drawer, and it won't be as full. I'm looking forward to that. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me do this with you, because it was basically like a makeup chore. Thank you for letting me do this with you. If you are new to my channel and you enjoyed today's video and you want to subscribe, go ahead. Go ahead and do it. Make sure to like the video, share it with people you might think like it. Patreon.com if you're into that sort of thing. That wraps it up. Remember to follow your hope, and you will find me. I will see you in a video very shortly. Bye-bye.